photographs, you know. 2 days before I married Butcher Brown, I came out in a rash. Anxiety, I suppose. My skin looked lovely in the photographs. Still, the march of time. I look quite scrawny soon.
Oh, you don't look old.
Thank you, dear. You've seen the tweezers?
You done your eyebrows yesterday.
Would you believe it? Not again. Those bloody light-fingered so-and-sos.
Tell Miss Collins.
You stay here. Play hell this time, I will.
Hey, Josie, I picked the seat warm here.
Ta.
I don't know what you're doing, I don't, hanging around that baggage all the time. Mutton dressed up as lamb.
She's lost her tweezers now.
Oh, dear, tragedy.
Well, she got to pluck her eyebrows, though.
Chickens get plucked, not eyebrows.
Well.
Is she a mannequin? Of course, they got skinny eyebrows. I think they're bald. They paint them on. It's disgusting.
I don't know.
Yes, I know. There's quite a lot of petty theft. My officers are doing all they can.
Well, you do realise, I suppose, I've been obliged to smoke without my holder.
Like everybody else.
Oh, that's not the point.
Look, some of the things you have seem expensive, and that is a temptation to the women. They resent it, don't you see?
Well, I can't help that.
No.
I shall have to write to my husband. He'll have to bring a pair of tweezers in.
You'll have to apply to the governor.
Then I will.
Perhaps we ought to clear this up. Is your husband at home, or isn't he?
It's possible he's away on business.
Well, you've written before, and he hasn't answered your letters. He hasn't even come in to pay your fine.
He can't neglect his business. He travels a good deal.
Well, talk to somebody from welfare. Then if he is at home, somebody can go and see him.
That won't be necessary, thank you.
We'll have a room search tomorrow.
And they walk up and down with all their clothes on.
Yeah, and that's a mannequin.
That's mannequin.
Yeah. See, it's no good to us the things they're wearing, because they're as flat as boards. There's nothing to get hold of, see? Well, no man worth his salt wants that.
Josie, what are you doing? I asked you to stay in my room.
Oh, yes? What for?
I wanted her to mind my things.
She's not your servant, right?
I only asked
She's
her...
not your bloody servant.
That's more like it. Now, is that going to make you fat? Are we trying to make you fat? No. Goodness, keep it up.
I said he'd be pleased with you.
Could you have a word with Dr. Dady, sister?
See if she wants somebody to drink, nurse. I'll be with Dr. Dady.
He's not too happy about Mrs. Temple.
Changed the treatment only last week.
Yes, I know.
No patience.
Well, he's the new boy still. He likes to try things. You and I, we're the old guard. Now, what do you think of Sarah?
Well, it's good she's eating again. And she's not so restless either.
Well, stay on with the chlorpromazine and keep on with the insulin, too, for a couple of days. I'll look at her again tomorrow.
Come.
There you are, starched from top to toe. She's all yours. Where would we be without her?
Dr. Mays is happy today.
Been at the ether, has he?
His little bird is eating again.
Your what?
Well, you know, my anorexic, Sarah Sutton. Sister calls her my little
I
bird.
think you started that.
She's eating, gaining weight.
Out of danger?
Yes. Well, of course, I do know that it's early days, and there's a...
That's true enough. You know there's a poor prognosis.
Well, yes, I know that. I mean, I know there's a certain amount of delving to do, but that doesn't worry me, no, because I think she might respond.
Why?
I think she's got some insight.
Into how she's behaving now, you mean?
That's right.
Yes, well, you'd expect that. Obsessional neurosis, feeling of subjective compulsion, resistance to it, plus retention of insight.
Yes. Well, I don't know yet.
OK, well, if you want to let me in on it.
Well, I'm not excluding you.
Don't teach your grandmother to suck eggs. Sorry. Have a seat.
Sarah tries for him, you know. That's a good thing, isn't it?
If she's cooperating, yes. Quite rare. Now, let's talk about Mrs. Temple.
Bleach on a beach in Spain. No, that's not right. You put bleach in the washing.
Even if we win the competition, we can't go, can we?
Bake like a cake.
You have to put your dress.
My husband was poisoned in Spain once. Shellfish, he always said. Still, I'm sure he'd go again.
They won't let us send it out.
Mrs. Butcher-Brown, the governor's able to see you now.
Now?
Yes, if you'll go with the officer.
There wouldn't just be time to arrange my hair.
It looks quite arranged to me.
Oh, if you think so, yes. That's very kind. My things. You do your entry if you like. Borrow my nice pen, dear.
Ready, are you?
Hey, dreamboat.
Made me jump.
Now you got room for a little one? Hey, where's she going then? Lady Dunnabunk?
See the governor to complain.
Oh, what's she trying to win?
Holiday in Spain.
She's not right in the head.
It's not the value of what I've lost. You don't think I've invented this?
Of course not, no. Someone's been rather clever.
Well, I mean, it's trying enough to be here as it is.
In my office or in the prison?
My husband's away, otherwise he would pay my fine tomorrow.
Well, now you are inventing, aren't you, Mrs. Brown?
My name is Butcher Brown.
Your husband, Mr. Brown, wrote to me, you see. You weren't even living together, were you? You've been separated for 2 years and he wants a divorce. He doesn't even want you to write to him.
He is still my husband.
Now, we have a welfare department and they could help you.
It's nobody's business but my own.
I disagree. If you leave here still covering up, pretending that everything is all right when blatantly it isn't, we may very well see you in here again.
Oh, that's ridiculous. It was only a little weakness over money.
Now, look, you can either live in a world of your own or you can take the help that we offer.
All I want is my property back. It's just too bad. So bloody inefficient.
Very well, you've made your point. Is that it?
Yes. Thank you.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Night.
Night, Ethel.
Night.
No. She's ever so funny when she come back. Did you think so?
Oh, dear.
Mrs. Butcher Brown. You're not good, are you, Ethel?
Just a bit giddy, that's all.
And your headache.
Where now, that's what. It's all going bit by bit.
You said you'd see the doctor. Last week you said you'd see him. And the week before.
Yeah, well, maybe I will.
Does everybody wear out then?
Well, if they're getting on.
Yeah, but everybody in the
Oh,
world.
forget about it. Go to sleep. I'll just sit a minute, eh?
Very nice house. Like a new pin. Fairly average suburb. Mrs. Sutton was helpful, charming, concerned, that's her. And that's it. Well, is there something else?
Mrs. Sutton was helpful and charming.
Yes. Well, to me, of course.
Well, I'm glad she was nice to you because she has crippled Sarah.
And I took her as I found her. I didn't go in with any preconceived notions or prejudices. Should I have done?
How tidy was the house?
Very. That doesn't mean the woman's nuts.
Now, heredity is a factor. The parent often shows obsessional traits.
In how many cases?
Oh, come on, let's assume I know what I'm talking about.
Well, she plumped up the cushions a bit, but not over and over again, if that's what obsessional means.
All right. Now I've got a patient waiting. We'll talk about it later.
I can't wait.
Sorry I was so long, but I dare say that you're nice and relaxed.
Don't be daft. You walk out and leave me here. It's enough to make me bust myself. If he's gone up, it's 'cause you left me here.
Well, actually, it's gone down a bit. But it's still high. Now, listen. I'm going to give you some tablets. And, yes, I'd like you in the hospital for a while. You won't have to stay in bed. You can go to OT if you want. Plenty of rest, no worry. And you will eat what I give you to eat, which will be a reducing diet. Understood?
What about my headaches?
Oh, well, that's the blood pressure. Once that's down, they'll go.
But first you've got to get me down.
Yeah. Couple of stone?
Get off!
You're right. Let's aim for 3. Now, don't worry. I won't starve you. I'll just give you rabbit food to eat.
Sarah? Sarah, are you asleep?
No.
Oh, I'd like you to meet Ethel. She's going to be in the next bed. This locker for your things. I'll be back in 5 minutes, okay?
Hey, poorly, is she?
Well, just a bit down today.
Blinking hell. Give out on me. Oh, it isn't very clever. Maybe it's the legs.
My bed creaks too. They're all like that.
If you hear thunder in the night, you know I've gone through. Ethel's the name.
Sarah.
Oh, I suppose it's his idea of a joke putting me in next to you. Well, like having a stick insect next to a gasometer. Oh, you don't mind me being rude?
No. Whose idea?
Ah, the doctor's cheeky sob.
Dr. Mays?
Yeah, cheeky so-and-so.
Well, he's the best doctor. There's no one here at all like him.
I expect he's trying to build you up.
I'm on a diet. High calorie, high protein. You have to watch me eat.
Well, I'm having rabbit food.
You're certain to get better. Well, if you're under Dr. Mays. If he's healing you.
He's what?
Healing you. Thanks for moving in.
Think nothing of it, dear.
I'd have been on my own otherwise.
I wrote to my husband today. Yes, things will start to move shortly, very shortly.
Have you counted up your things?
Everything is as it should be. Well, it's going to the governor. Frightened them off, you see.
What was the governor like?
Oh, cross old stick. Had nothing to do with her.
No, I won't.
Damn and blast. No bloody courtesy.
I see the moon and the moon see me. God bless the moon and God bless me. And God, please make Ethel better.
Oh, don't get me wrong. It takes all sorts. First time I saw my husband, I thought, oh, that's not for me. Shrimpy, you see. Well, I made 2 of him. Jack Sprat, that's what I called him. Oh, we made a joke of it. Then I found out what his real name was. His real name was Cumberbatch. Well, I thought, that's it. You're never going to get me, Ethel Cumberbatch. Oh, then we made a joke of that and all. And Ethel Cumberpatch I was, and Ethel Cumberpatch I am. No little Cumberpatches, though. I never caught for any kids.
I suppose I think of being fat with having babies, really.
Oh, that's a funny thing.
I don't want babies.
Mind you, he's got a couple now. With her he went to after me. She was a Mrs. Spinks. I don't know what they call the kiddies, though, if it was a Cumberpatch.
I don't want babies.
Listen, dear, you just take it as it comes.
I get things in my head, you see, and I know they're silly, but I do, and I can't get them out.
Under the shrink, then, are you?
Dr. Mays?
No, the young one, he's the shrink. Daddy, that's what they call him. Daddy. My friend Josie goes to him. She's a bit simple, poor soul.
I don't know any Dr. Dady. I have Dr. Mays.
Hello. Aren't you off to work?
At the temperature.
Not fit then? Well, shall I come down to you, or are you getting up? Hey, there's room for me in there.
It's Ethel's.
Ethel?
Ethel Cumberpatch. She's in the hospital.
Ah. Well, don't get lost in it, will you?
Oh, no, it's got this pocket, see? Ethel used to keep things in the pocket, carry things about.
Yeah. Kangaroos do that, you know.
Do they?
Well, they don't wear pinafores, but they carry the babies in a pouch.
Oh.
Sort of kangaroo pocket,
Well, Ethel just keep bits in the pocket. She put bits in it.
Is there anything in there now, is there?
It's empty.
All right.
Oh, now listen. It's not the end of the world. He'll come and see you tomorrow.
She'll be all right. Just let her sleep.
Where's her doctor, then?
He's at a conference today. Now, don't be so silly, Sarah. You're behaving like a baby. Now, sit up and pull yourself together.
I'm going to see the welfare lady. I'm going out soon. I've got to find somewhere to live. I don't want to leave you in a state now, do I?
No.
You see, you don't realise. He's the big shot, Mays. The SMO. There's lots of calls on him besides you.
Yes, but he said he'd come.
Don't think about it. Here, read your book. And I've got a present for you. Happy birthday to you. Well, you put it in your place, then you know where you got to in your book.
Yes, but what is it, though?
It's out me corset. All right, Ethel Cumberpatch, chop chop. Mustn't keep me escort waiting.
You won't be long.
No, I'll get it over with quick, so don't you fret yourself.
So nothing's turned up then?
Well, with the searches, quite a lot, but nothing belonging to Mrs. Brown.
Butcher Brown.
What went exactly?
She took the trouble to make me a list. 1 cigarette holder, 2 expensive lipsticks, tweezers, a ballpoint pen plated in brackets.
Oh, not exactly the crown jewels.
Ah, the woman's penniless. She clings to the few things she has.
Yeah. Well, who's the magpie? Any thoughts?
Nothing's gone in the last few days.
Anybody left the wing?
Yes, Doris Parker was released and Ethel Cumberpatch went to the hospital.
Her of the large pinafore?
The same. She's a very ample lady.
Uh-huh, that's interesting.
Don't be so enigmatic.
Well, that pinafore has a large pocket. I looked in it this morning and it was empty. But she could have salted the stuff in there. Except, of course, where is it now?
How ill is this woman? I'm not sure. She has high blood pressure, I think.
Blood pressure. Oh, that's a pity. Can't exactly hassle her, can we?
Dr. Mays could advise on that. He'll be back this evening.
True. In the meantime, I shall investigate the condition of the suspect.
I don't know what we're making a joke about it.
No, but it's nice, isn't it?
You'd find a bed sitter?
Yeah.
Well, you've done that before. You find the rent a strain, then you start to drink.
Yeah, but I've got to cut it down, 'cause of me weight.
OK. Is there anything else you want me to do?
Well, yes, there is. With these giddy-doos, it gets you thinking, sort of looking back, wondering how long there is to go. I thought a lot about Jack, my hubby, where he is, and if there's a chance of seeing him again.
When did you see him last?
Oh, about 3 years ago. But it was by accident, Battersea Funfair, just by accident.
He was living in Battersea?
Yeah, with the Mrs. Spinks. But whether he's with her still, God knows, 'cause they're having a bad patch. Of course, he might have just told me that, me being his real wife.
All right. I'll need his last address, work, mates. If he's been inside, you'll have to rack your brains a bit. Anything that might help.
Yeah, I couldn't do that tomorrow. See, I'm sort of obligated to get back. Little girl in the next bed to me's not well.
Oh, well, the nurses will see to her, won't they?
Well, I can't say they will. Sister was very short with her, and Sarah's very sensitive. Her doctor didn't come today. She cried solid for an hour, she did.
Sarah Sutton?
Yeah, she took it very hard.
Now, do you want me to trace your husband?
Yeah. Oh, well, I don't know. Maybe it's morbid, really.
He may not want to see you. On the other hand, if he does, then you'll have more support when you go out.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it, really. Being ill makes you think, who is there? Really, who'd look after you? See, I'll get friends with people, but it's mostly me looking out for them.
If you mean little Sarah, she gets attention, Ethel. Believe you me, she does.
More than you've had in all your life.
Hi. After my boss.
Oh, I see he's back then.
Yes, on the ward.
All right, is she? I mean, she doesn't wander off.
Oh, no, always keeps the same patch of ground. Some magistrate thought it fit to lock her up.
Don't they have locked wards on mental
Well,
hospitals?
fewer than they did, but she wouldn't be on one.
Is there any point in waiting on for Peter?
No.
Oh?
He's into psychotherapy.
Oh, I thought that was your baby.
Well, if that's how he wants to get his kicks. But don't hang on, too busy.
Right. Yes.
Well, you were there. I wasn't. So it's got to come from you.
Well, if you mean about Mummy, I don't remember anyway. Not really how I felt.
Things will come back to you. There's no rush.
Anyway, it seems unfair to talk about her behind her back.
Well, I'm going to see your mother, and we'll certainly talk about you.
She won't say the same things. As me, I mean.
Like what?
Well, I think she was strict. But she doesn't think so. And once when we went to see the doctor, she just said something that wasn't true.
But did you contradict her?
Oh, no, of course not.
Why, of course not.
I just didn't. I don't know.
Which doctor was this?
The first time Mummy took me, I don't remember.
Oh, yes, no, I've got it here. You were, what, 12?
Nearly 13.
Well, tell me about that. What led up to it?
Well, I had to keep closing the door. Well, first I opened it to make sure, and then I had to shut it again, but lots of times. That was at home. I didn't do that in school, though. I think I was very good in school. I was never late or anything, well, in a mess. They said I was too tidy, though. How can you be too tidy?
All right. Now, at home, why did you have to keep shutting the door?
Well, I told you. To make sure. You see, I kept thinking that in the room there was some sort of, well, like something bad and evil and wicked, you see. But if I opened it, then it would get out. But I couldn't be sure it had really gone. So I had to keep closing it again. I knew Mummy was getting cross and it was silly, really, but I kept doing it.
Now, explain to me, when you say something bad.
Well, I had this friend at school, and she was Jewish, you see, and she said they had this festival where they opened the door to let Elijah in. So I thought, if Elijah could come in, then something evil could come in too. And so you had to let it out. I mean, I did.
You were 12. What was happening at home?
Nothing in particular.
All right, then. What was happening to you?
Well, I was at school, second form, nothing really, usual things.
Will you think about it for me? Good. Well, we'll talk about it next time.
Well, you couldn't jog my memory.
Huh?
Well, you know about these things. I mean, you
Now,
do.
look, what did I tell you just now?
You said you don't work miracles, but you do. I'm getting better, aren't I?
Well, yes.
And people do work miracles. Once, we had a holiday on a farm, and it was in Derbyshire in the hills. And we saw an ice cream van miles away, and Daddy went off and started to run. Well, then we couldn't see him for a while. But he came back with the ice cream.
And that seemed like a miracle.
Yes. Well, I was only 6.
Did your father work miracles after that?
No, he couldn't later on. He started to get ill. And he argued with Mummy a lot, but only because he was getting ill. She was so fussy, you see, about not making a mess. But you can't be bothered when you're ill. I mean, it wasn't his fault.
When did he start to get ill?
Well, he was ill for years, on and off. I was, 12, I suppose.
You were 12?
Yes. Oh, you don't mean closing the doors? Oh, no. That had nothing to do with Daddy or Mummy either. No, I mean, they weren't something evil.
Well, we'll talk about it tomorrow.
Oh, can't we go on?
No, it's time for medicines. Besides, I've got to go.
You won't forget tomorrow.
Did I today?
I'd die if you forgot.
I still think it was too bland.
Well, never mind. I'll cook for you on Sunday.
I thought you were coming to me.
Yes, but I do the cooking. I like your space-age kitchen.
So you can mess it up.
That's right.
Something nice happened today. You know you're treating Ethel Cumberpatch.
Ethel who?
Well, you are.
Oh, the hypertension. Yes.
Well, she asked me to trace her husband, and I think I have. He was put on probation. Someone kept in touch.
Good for Ethel.
Yes.
Yeah, a little girl said to me today that miracles do exist. Well, at least miracle workers. So there you are.
Well, I'll be pleased if I find him.
So will Ethel.
The conference was boring then,
Oh, well, jargon, you know. Still, I did do some work today, and real work, too, not admin stuff.
That's real work.
Oh, it's just routine. I talked to little Sarah Sutton, and I actually got somewhere, too.
Some people think that therapy is unreal.
Well, it's very real to me.
No, don't they? They think neurotics get better by themselves.
This girl will become psychotic unless someone helps her.
Should a patient be dependent on her therapist?
Well, not unduly, no.
Well, she's dependent on you.
Well, she's rather a dependent sort of girl.
Well, then you should be careful.
Yes, my love.
Now, don't patronise
Well,
me.
what's this about?
I happened to hear she cried for an hour because you didn't turn up.
Well, how did you hear?
Through Ethel.
Ethel? Oh, Ethel.
No, seriously, Peter, I know it's different work. You want to do it.
But...
Are you being objective enough? Remember how you were about a mother? You almost turned on me.
I am not objective, no. The whole thing interests me, and that makes me a good listener, and that is what it's all about.
Yes, I can see that.
Well?
You're not over-sympathetic.
I don't think so, no. No, I'm not. You see, if there is a problem, and I'm not saying that there is.
Oh, of
Now,
course
listen to me, listen to me. If there is a problem, it's in her attitude to me.
Well, you're what? Father substitute?
More or less.
I suppose she wasn't the little girl who talked about miracle workers.
I did say there might be a problem.
A god figure, perhaps.
Oh, don't be absurd. Look, I have had a bellyful from Dady about this. He is peeved because I wouldn't let him take her on. He thinks it's his province.
Is it?
Well, I don't go in for that sort of demarcation.
Well, obviously he does.
Yeah. Well, he's young, he's enthusiastic, he's very highly qualified. Well, maybe I feel a bit threatened. I don't know.
You helped appoint him.
Well, yes, he's good. So why not hand her over?
Listen. When I went to see Sarah's mother, she talked to me about this man. The one Sarah got involved with, the man who smuggled drugs. Well, it wasn't a sexual thing at all, at least not obviously. He was 20 years older than her. She fixed on him and made him God. Well, she didn't use the drugs, she just did what he said. And if she's doing that with you...
And if I let her...
Oh, you have done, haven't you?
Mr. Cumberpatch, I'm sorry to keep you waiting. I'm Miss Clarke.
Oh, yes. Well, I took a chance of your being in.
Look, come in, sit down. Sit down. I called at your hostel yesterday. I'm sorry I missed you.
Oh.
No, please.
Yes.
I would have called again.
Oh, was it wrong to come then?
Oh, no, I didn't mean that.
You see, when I got in, they said she was sick. In hospital, I thought it might be bad. Well, I'm her next of kin.
Well, she suffers from high blood pressure. It's something that can be controlled.
I thought you might be really bad.
No.
Oh. You must think me daft coming all this way. Gives me the willies. This place. Hearing them keys turn. Brixton. On remand. I had 3 weeks of it. I got 2 years probation because Ethel doesn't know that.
Well, she thought you might be living with Mrs. Binks.
Oh, yes. Well, I was. Nice cup of tea. I get home from Brixton, she's got this fella in with her. I packed my things and left him to it. She's been after me ever since, but I'm not having it. Well, better off without. Of course, I'll give her money for the kids and have them over. I mean, that's only right, but that's her lot. I've got 2 kids with Mrs. Binks.
Ethel asked me to find you. I don't know how you feel. I think she was feeling low because of being ill.
Yeah, well, I don't think she'd have bothered if she hadn't been ill.
Well, I can't say
you know,
that.
I disappointed her, see. I couldn't stand up for myself. Now, she wanted that, but I couldn't. I didn't have the fight. I didn't have the words. She made me, well, littler than I was, you know what I mean? Yeah. I always said her heart was fast, but she just laughed. That's Ethel, always laughing. I thought to myself, well, she's out there somewhere laughing, she's all right. And then you get the news she's sick, got herself locked up. Things are really bad, eh?
All right, read it out.
Just over 14 stone.
14 stone what, exactly?
14 stone 7 ounces.
Good. Well, carry on as we were, I think. Okay?
Well, no, it's not okay. I want to ask you something.
All right.
Why are you letting Sarah waste away?
What's that?
She isn't getting on with that Dr. Dady. I mean, she's had a week to like him and she doesn't. She's pining after you, that's what. Breaking her heart she is.
Well, I explained to her.
I know. And I keep on telling her. I know Daddy's the shrink and I know you got your conferences and whatnot, but she can't get it into her head.
Well, I'll keep an eye on her, all right?
I had to mention it, you see. Gets me down, it does.
Not to worry.
No, don't. I'll just be sick again.
Look, if you get upset, you'll make yourself sick.
I don't want anything to eat.
All these people fussing round you. I don't know what you want. I don't know what you're playing at, I'm sure.
If I eat, I'm sick, aren't I? You wouldn't like that, would you? It's their fault for trying to feed me.
Well, they can't let you go to nothing.
I'm not that bad.
You are, you know.
I can't be all that bad, or Dr. Mace won't come.
He's busy. He told you he'd be busy.
He's seeing you?
Yeah, but only to check me weight and me blood pressure, not to have long chats.
He wants to punish me. He thinks I've done something wrong. I don't know what it is.
Hi.
Oh, every time she eats, she's sick.
Yes, I know.
Well, look at him. Don't be rude.
That's all right, Mrs. Cumberbatch.
Oh, make myself scarce, shall I?
Well, Sister might want a hand. Now, nothing energetic.
As if I could. I can't. I haven't got the breath. No use for anyone.
I do feel sick. I'm not making it up.
I never said you were. Sometimes a person gets a pain, or their muscles get tense, or their heart starts to race. Now, these are all physical symptoms, but they don't come from physical disease. They come when that person gets anxious and all that anxiety goes inside. You with me?
Yes.
Okay, let's see your arm.
I don't want an injection.
Come on, let's see it. Now, 2 arms. Which one's fatter, yours or mine?
I didn't say I was fat. No, I said you were trying to make me fat.
And what about Mrs. C? You're trying to make her fat too?
Trying to make her thin.
That's right. It's not good for her to be so fat. It's not good for you to be so thin.
You don't care what's good for me.
And how'd you make that out?
Now can you?
When what?
When you just want to punish me, I'm being punished, aren't I?
But you asked Miss Clarke to find your husband.
Yes, yes, I know.
And she's gone to a great deal of trouble.
I'm very grateful, yes.
Very well, you miss it. Are you all right?
Yes.
Right. Now, is there anything you'd like to ask Miss Clarke?
You saw him yesterday,
Is that right?
and you say he isn't with her anymore.
No, he doesn't want to be. He's been on his own for 18 months.
You sure he wants to see me? I mean, you didn't lead him on.
He wants to see you.
I could make out a visitor's order, and you could send it to him when you write.
No.
Do you feel we're pushing you?
Well, I'm not like I was. I haven't got the heart for things. I can't do what I did.
But your husband knows you've been ill.
Yeah, but you don't know I'm morbid. Of course, that's what I got. I mean, they give you tablets, right? And then they ask you about the side effects. Well, you don't know what they are. Right, you think, they're side effects, and you start making them up. I'm listening to my heart all the time. It's crackers, blinking ridiculous.
I quite agree with you.
Well, if I get face to face with Jack and he says, "Here, let's feel your pulse," I'll blooming flatten him, I will, so help me God. Oh, begging your pardon.
Yes.
How long do you say?
For the best part of the afternoon.
I see. Well, I want her in a room on her own as soon as she wakes.
Well?
I'll investigate to the general hospitals.
A psychiatric ward?
Yes, I'll warn them that we may need a bed.
May?
I'd like to persevere for a few more days.
And have her die on us?
Oh, come, it hasn't come to that.
Well, it's
pass
going in
yet.
that direction.
Well, yes. Yes, I accept that.
Well, I admit you're right to put her on her own.
I'll go in when she's settled, explain to her what's happening.
Look, would you mind if I did that?
Well, yes. I think I ought to go in. She feels rejected.
Oh, no, it doesn't matter which one of us does it. We don't stand a chance. This is a prison hospital. That's what brings her down. It's not you. She's talking about punishment.
Maybe if someone's let her down, she feels she's being punished.
Look, I don't like failing either.
They've gone and left some of her things behind.
Oh, you can take them over if you want. It's the little room down the corridor.
Oh, yeah. We'll say hello.
Yes, we'll let them get her settled first. 5 minutes?
Oh, OK, we'll do.
Ta, Ethel.
Hello, Ethel.
Oh, hello, Miss Collins.
This is Mr. Radley.
Oh, how'd you do?
We'd like a word, Mrs. Cumberbatch.
Oh, that's all right. Do you want a seat?
No, sir.
You're looking better.
Oh, yeah, I am today. Some days I'm up and some days I'm down. Today I'm up, got some good news.
Oh, hey. It's a rum sort of bookmark.
Oh, yes, sir. It's the little girl's in the next bed to me, except they moved her.
She wears a corset, does she?
Oh, no. It's a present off for me.
Are you wearing your corset now?
Oh, of course I am. I've been to see the governor.
Could you take it off a moment?
What, with him standing around? You must be joking.
OK, I'll wait outside.
I'll go and take it off behind the screen, sir. Excuse me.
I'll come with you, Ethel, if you don't mind. Afternoon, Mr. Radley.
Oh, hello. Everything all right?
That thing's from Ethel's corset.
Yes, I know.
Well, have you come to bully us, have you? Security again.
I'm sure nothing gets past you.
No, flattery will get you nowhere.
Well, Watson, have we cracked it?
Yes, by the feel of it, we have.
Uh-huh.
I pushed them down the slots. I could have told you. You better take them out and let me have it back.
Oh, we may have to confiscate it. It may be needed as evidence.
Yeah, but I'm going to see my husband. I can't see my husband without me corsets.
He's only joking, Ethel. All right, let's see.
I'll have to unpick it.
Why did you do it, Ethel?
You seen that, Mrs. Butcher Brown?
Yeah, I've seen her.
She paints them eyebrows on. She's bald underneath, bald as a coot.
Well, does that matter?
Yeah, but she's always putting on. She's somebody. You know, it's always painting on, painting over. Do you get it? I never nicked anything on the outside, you know. I'm a drunk and disorderly assault. It's the first nicking that I ever done.
Just a few repairs. You can talk to me, dear, if you like. I don't mind.
Guess who I saw on the hospital?
You told me, dear, you saw your friend.
She's found her husband.
Really? Did she lose him?
I'd like an husband. Ethel's got an husband. If she's ill, her husband can do the shopping. You've got an husband. And when you get out, your husband will buy a cake and he'll put it on the table and you can blow the candles out. Because when you get out of here, it'd be like your birthday.
No, he won't do the shopping.
Sure he will, the day you get out.
I don't live with my husband. If I go near the house, he'll set the dog on me. It's a new dog, you see, it doesn't know me. Besides, he means it. You didn't know that, did you? No. Well, he looks down on me. He always has done. I served him in a shop. That's how I met him. I sold umbrellas. Still, the future beckons. I've been been thinking, Josie. We could find an apartment. You know, a little flat somewhere. Would you share it with me?
Got to stay in here.
I'll get it ready for you. It would give me something to do, you see. Shall we lay plans?
Clean it out in the morning. It should be defrosted by then. And don't shut the door, whatever you do. I don't believe you've heard a word I said.
Would it matter if I hadn't?
No, probably not. Oh, I must say you were in quite a mood.
I'm sending Sarah Sutton out tomorrow.
Oh, won't that be better for her?
Well, the hospital is well equipped. She'll get her dose of ECT.
You don't blame me, do you?
No.
Because, oh well, thinking back, I might have overstated it a little. Oh, I suppose I resented it, really. You letting her be so dependent, and you don't like it as a rule. And being so intense, when you never are. Well, over other people.
Lots more crinkles, crisscrossings. That's more events, that is.
Don't be daft. Look, the more years you use your hand, the more it shrinks up, so you get crinkles.
Yeah, well, there have been events. And there's islands in your outline, too. Islands mean attachments.
Well, Heartlines get islands. Get away. It's not just me.
You brought a photograph?
What of?
You know. Kids.
Sharon and Brian?
Yeah.
Bit odd asking that, isn't it? Peculiar you are.
Well, it's no good dancing round it. There's been events, and that's a fact.
Yeah, but not here, Ethel. Anyway, I didn't bring them.
How do you think I look?
Well, I recognised you. Just about.
Oh, get off.
Jack Spratt, remember?
I haven't got softening of the brain.
Look, I've been thinking, Ethel. It's a bit daft, isn't it? I mean, me getting old in Battersea and you in... Where is it now?
Lambeth.
I thought you was in Poplar.
Oh, no, it was years ago. When I was at the fair. Well, go on with what you was going to say.
Well, don't you think it's daft? I mean, we're still legal. Just a bit lapsed, that's all.
Yeah, 9 years elapsed.
Well, so what? We could start again. I'll get another island in my Heartline.
I'm getting carried away, you are.
Come on, what about it,
I can't laugh like I used to laugh. First time you lost your tongue.
Well, if you're not laughing all the time, I'll know to look out for you.